Hey, what's up guys? Will from Locked On Sound here today. Now, it is time to grab your favorite bottle of whiskey because it's the holidays and we're going to be preparing some jalapeno poppers today. And now while the whiskey is for the chef in this case and not for the actual meat itself, whiskey and bourbon does make an excellent brine for any sort of wild game, especially if it's going into a jalapeno popper, especially if you're grilling it, and especially if you're smoking it, neither of which we're doing today. We're actually going to do ours in the oven, but let's get right into it and show you guys how to make some delicious, absolutely delicious duck tenderloin jalapeno poppers. Now, I saved all these tenderloins from ducks I've killed throughout the year. That's what I always do. I take the breasts and I bag them, and I have a container that sits in the freezer that I always put my tenderloins in for stuff like this, because jalapeno poppers, you can't beat it, and I promise you, a lot of people make them out of deer. A lot of people make wood duck poppers out of strips. But I tell you what, any duck from diver duck to wood duck to mallard, if you use the tenderloins, oh, they're going to taste amazing in this meal. So let's get right to it.
All right, so as any good jalapeno poppers start, we need a heaping bag of peppers to start this one out with. I'm using store-bought jalapeno peppers because all of the garden fresh vegetables and everything that we had are already used up for the year. So go to the store, go to your garden, and pick out your best jalapeno poppers. Each jalapeno popper that you buy or grow is going to yield you 2 of our jalapeno poppers today. So make as much as you want, make as little as you want. This recipe, we're making about 2 dozen of them. And I put all my scraps in a bowl back here for the chickens, but you feed them to the dogs or whatever you'd like. Now for this, easy enough, cut them in half. And then I always take a spoon and go ahead and scrape out all the seeds in the vein there in the middle. I scrape mine very thoroughly because I do not do spicy foods very much at all. So I scrape mine out and try to get all the seeds in that main white vein there in my scoop so they're not spicy at all. I have people in my family that when they make them, they'll leave some seeds or they'll leave part of the vein in there so it gets a little bit of kick to that spice. Once you're all done, this is what you should be left with. As you can see, I got pretty much all the seeds and the white vein out of my jalapenos. Next, the easiest thing to do that my beloved fiance taught me for these recipes is to use the back of the spoon to scrape the sour cream into your jalapeno poppers. Now, you're going to see me struggle with this first one. You know, I'm trying to focus on the camera. La-di-da-di-da. But easiest way to do it is to use the back of a spoon. I've heard some people say using a hot spoon works very well as well. They'll dip it in like a cup of hot water in between each one. I've never done that. The back of the spoon tends to work pretty well for me when I do it this way, but it goes pretty quick and pretty easy. This is a quick and easy recipe, a great appetizer for all of your football games, all of your hunting parties, anything like that where you need to bring an appetizer. These are delicious and everybody loves them. This is also one of those meals that you can serve and people will not be able to tell they're duck. They're just so tender, so delicious, and so juicy. Go ahead and do this to all of your jalapeno poppers. Put as much cream cheese as you want in there. For these 2 dozen, I went through about a whole block of cream cheese here. But you can be generous with it or not. It's up to you, however much cream cheese you like. Of course, for jalapeno poppers, we need a beautiful slab of bacon. For large jalapeno poppers, I use about a full slice of bacon per popper. For smaller ones, I'll use only a half. Go ahead and take your duck tenderloin and lay it right inside that jalapeno bed of cream cheese and then just wrap the bacon right around it. Easiest way to keep these together is to take a toothpick and to stick it through the bacon, the meat, and the jalapeno popper. That's going to help hold all your meat together throughout the cooking process, especially if you're like me and you want your bacon to be a little bit crispy. This allows your bacon to get crispy but without falling off and straightening and ruining your jalapeno popper meal. Like I said, for the bigger ones, a full strip of bacon. For the smaller ones, a half strip. Use however much you want. This recipe is very versatile with as much ingredient mixing as you want. So I use as much bacon as I can, as much meat as I can, and as much cream cheese as I can because, well, why not? Those are 3 delicious ingredients all wrapped up in a little floating boat of jalapeno poppers. This is what they should look like as you go ahead and put them in the oven. Delicious, held together, not unraveling, all in the pan and ready to go. Next, preheat your oven to 350 degrees. These are going to go in for about 22 to 25 minutes, depending on how crispy you'd like your bacon. Do not burn yourself when you put these in the oven. That is a common occurrence in our household. These are for a Christmas party, so we've also got some bread bacon, but go ahead and slap those right in there and pull them out when your bacon is starting to crisp up. Boom. Horrible camera work here, but as you can see, the bacon is getting crispy and we are good to go. These look delicious. Creamy cream cheese on the inside, crispy bacon on the outside, and oh, look at these. You can leave the stems on some of these like I did here, and you're left with an even better looking meal. Red jalapenos, green jalapenos, whatever you feel spice-wise.